All right. Double injury boost for the club of Manchester United. You know, it's always good to see to it that you really get your players back, as injuries are as injuries. And these two players are really very crucial, if at all, the system of Manchester United. They are some of the players where this system really thrives, and they are some of the best performing players that, if you are to name a starting 11 of Manchester United on merit, they get straight into the team. And these two players that we're talking about can start in every team in the world. I tell you, every manager needs a left-sided centre-back like Lisandro Martinez, and every manager will need a right-back like Mazraoui. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and this is the United Matters channel. We do have a double injury boost for the club of Manchester United ahead of this upcoming games after the international break. And the story has been told to us by The Standard, and they've told us that Ruben Amorim hopes to have Lisandro Martinez and Mazraoui back after the international break. What a story that we should obviously come up and really enjoy and see ourselves really giving these players their flowers and what they want. Because sometimes if you've not gone ahead to pay a lot of attention to detail, you'll undermine the role of Lisandro Martinez and Mazraoui at the club of Manchester United. You understand? So, Lisandro Martinez got injured last season, and ever since then, he has not gone ahead to obviously return, and he has obviously stayed there for a very long time than expected. But I tell you what, he's really one of those that you have to look at and really admire. You wait. When he comes into that defense of Manchester United, I think Luke Shaw will be played as a left wing back, because he's really undroppable. But Lisandro Martinez will get straight into the team because of what he gives us. When you look at Manchester United, if you're really having Lisandro Martinez, then you're really having a very huge reference point, as he's a very good player when it comes to his technique and being press resistant. His passing is really out of this world, and he is a fighter. He's a leader, and with his height that many people really underestimate, he has gone ahead to outmark players that are really huge, and he has gone ahead to win very many aerial duels than most of the players that are really even taller than him. If you've been following this lad, you will agree with me that he's a force that has really excited many people at Manchester United ever since he came in through. And I really feel like there is an agenda to obviously say that Mazraoui is really the best signing of Manchester United ever since, that he's the best signing for Manchester United ever since that is the best signing at the club of Manchester United. Something that I don't really agree with. I've seen players, and Lisandro Martinez for me is one of those players, and he has been really good, though injuries, ever since he went ahead to get a metatarsal injury, every season he hasn't gone ahead to play his best. In his debut season, he really stopped in March. That's when he got an injury. The following season, I think he was really on and off. That's when I think he came back and he won an FA Cup and so on and so forth. Then last season, again, I think around February, March, that's when he got an injury. That Lisandro Martinez for you. And I think United is trying to give him ample time, and they're not really rushing him back, because we do have very many players that can play into that back three. Matthias De Ligt, Lenny Yoro, Luke Shaw, Aiden Heaven. You can talk about Harry Maguire, Fredrickson, you know. So all those players can play in the back three of Manchester United. That's why United is pushing hard to obviously get him back. But good news that he's obviously gonna be coming back. Now, the other player is Mazraoui. You know, Mazraoui is a very good player. He can play as a right back or a right wing back in the system of Ruben Amorim. He's also good, and when you're having him also, he really adds a lot to what the club really wants. Mazraoui is really having injuries, I tell you. You know, though he's not really having these long-term injuries. He's out for like a month and really gets back. But the same round, I think they should also rest him, like they've gonna do to Lisandro Martinez. They should only get him back when he's really ready. You understand? With the board coming out and saying that they are not threatening to sack the manager, let these players really rest. Because all I know, if we are to play into what we call, the Champions League, we'll need these players to be available from February to May. I tell you, if we keep in the position where you are, like 10th, 9th, 8th, until February, then in March, we really go ahead and obviously win most of our games. No team is going to be standing in our way. We'll come out and really beat every team, left, right, and center. I tell you, that is all about a club known as Manchester United. And for me, Mazraoui is one of those that I think is really good. As I told you, these two are really the best two signings, you know? Are the best two signings at the club of Manchester United, you know? Ever since Erik ten Hag came in through. And they're really that good, and no doubt all these were scouted by Ajax, and we know how good Ajax is at the club of Manchester United. Now, Samuel Lucas, who works for the Sun right now, has told us the following, that Man United are still hopeful Lisandro Martinez will play again this calendar year. He's still doing individual sessions as part of his rehabilitation. United could wait until after the November internationals to ease Martinez back into the squad. So that's what I was talking about, that we have no need to obviously force him back. I'm talking about Lisandro Martinez, because if you force him back, maybe he'll really get a setback that might obviously affect his career. But as we speak right now, if you're really having a person like him, you know, I'm talking about Lisandro Martinez, don't really rush him. Let him heal fully and get him back. And November international break, that's what is being hinted on in here. But I think we will do more. We can do better. He might return, as hinted on, after this international break, but the manager will be like, he will be coming off the bench, play in 3, 10, 15 minutes, and maybe he'll go to the international break with Argentina and see whether he can play some good games with them and then return to the club of Manchester United. But with the World Cup around the corner, I think Lisandro Martinez wants to keep fit, you know, and that's why he's also taking his time to see to it that he only comes out at the right time, not being forced back onto the field of play to obviously get setbacks like we've gone ahead to see in the previous times. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rock and David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Your reactions to the double injury boost, you know, are welcome in the comment section below. The guy is really very, very, very optimistic. And who are we talking about? We are talking about Amorim, optimistic about the return of this duo, formerly at Ajax, and now they are at a club known as Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. We sign out. Bye-bye. First video of the day and more is loading.